Charles Robert Darwin was an English naturalist, geologist, and biologist, best known for his contributions to the science of evolution. Charles Darwin was born in Shrewsbury, England on February 12th of 1809. He went on a 5-year journey around the world in the HMS Beagle to find/search the evidence of evolution. He started his journey in December 27th of 1831. Charles Darwin revolutionized the future with his theory of evolution, following a lifetime of exponential research in Plymouth. The reason he went on this adventure was because he never knew what to do with his career. In October 1825, at age 16, Darwin enrolled at Edinburgh University along with his brother Erasmus. 2 years later, Charles Darwin became a student at Christ's College in Cambridge. His father hoped he would follow in his footsteps and become a medical doctor. His father suggested he study to become a parson instead, but Darwin was far more inclined to study natural history. After Darwin graduated Christ's College with a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1831, Henslow, his professor, recommended him for a naturalist position aboard the HMS Beagle, knowing that it would be a 5-year journey. The voyage would prove the opportunity of a lifetime for Charles Darwin to discover a new species of animals, insects, and plants. He then later on sailed to Rio de Janeiro. The Beagle arrived at Rio de Janeiro, Brazil on April 3rd, 1832. On April 8th, Darwin went off exploring in the tropical rainforest with Patrick Lennon, a local English merchant, and 5 others. They explored about 100 miles up the coast from Rio de Janeiro. Darwin collected many good specimens of plants, insects, and animals during this trip. Darwin returned to Rio de Janeiro on the evening of April 23rd with a collection of insects, plants that was beyond his wildest dreams. When he left Rio de Janeiro, he sailed to Montevideo. Arrived at Montevideo on the 26th of April. On the 19th of August, Darwin shipped off his first load of specimens and notes to Professor Henslow back in Cambridge. The specimens included several rocks and tropical plants, 4 bottles of animals and spirits, many beetles, and various marine animals. When he left Montevideo, he sailed to Valparaiso. Then in May, the ship headed south and through the Straits of Magellan. On June 11, 1834, the Beagle entered the Pacific. The end of July found the ship 1,200 miles northward at Valparaiso, where it remained until winter was past. While there, young Darwin walked around town and into some nearby jungles. When he left Valparaiso, he sailed to Galapagos. Then they arrived in the Galapagos and spent 5 weeks. He also saw those finch subspecies, collected a few and wrote them up in his notes. It was not until he arrived back in England that a friend, John Gould, suggested they might be evidence of evolution. So here, at last, was the evidence. Back to Plymouth. After visiting Tasmania, Darwin left to return home. Across the Indian Ocean, around the Cape of Good Hope into the Atlantic to Ascension Land, and a little final visit of the coast of South America. Then up to Cape Verde Islands and to Falmouth, England, where Darwin left the ship for the last time on October 2nd of 1836. HMS Beagle finally arrived home after a voyage of 4 years, 9 months, 5 days. They docked at Falmouth, England. Upon his return to England in 1836, Darwin began to write up his findings in the Journal of Researches, later edited into the Zoology of Voyage of the Beagle. The trip had a great effect on Darwin's view of natural history. He began to develop a revolutionary theory about the origin of living beings. Darwin noticed similarities among species all over the globe, along with variations based on specific locations, leading him to believe that they had gradually evolved from common ancestors. He came to believe that species survived through a process called natural selection, where species that successfully adapted to meet the changing requirements of their natural habitat thrived, while those that failed to evolve and reproduce died off. Charles Robert Darwin, once an insecure college graduate, had become a seasoned naturalist and a man at the start of a long journey whose conclusion would forever change the way humanity views its place in the world.